Hi guys, Brad Jackson here from Jackson Audio. Today we have a very special guest, our dear friend Joey Landreth, currently on tour through Texas, and he came to the house today to help us shoot a video for a new product we're releasing called the Golden Boy Mini. If you know us and you know Joey, we worked together for several years on a product called the Golden Boy. It's a really fully featured, it's a very useful overdrive. It's got a boost, overdrive, 3-band EQ, tons of switching options, all that kind of stuff. It's probably our best-selling product we've ever done. It's a great product. It works in a lot of different styles of music, but Joey's on tour, and so we were chatting about how to maybe strip that down and make that great sound of a pedal more affordable to more people and just make the product much more accessible. So we were kicking around ideas, and we just asked Joey, what are your main sounds? What are you going to on a gig? What are your go-tos, so to speak? And he said, well, I'm using these settings here, and that's all I use. Other than that, I keep it simple. So we thought, well, let's just take those sounds, put it in a pedal that's slightly smaller and quite a bit less expensive. This thing is $179 down from $299, which is what the original Golden Boy went for. So Joey, let's talk about the origin story, if you will, of the Golden Boy.
Yeah, so I think we met years ago. I think it would have been something like 2016 or 2017. Probably, yeah. And we started chatting about stuff and just kind of nerding out over guitar gear. And you guys had made the Broken Arrow,
yeah,
which I was using on my board, and I loved all of the sort of functionality of it. I loved how usable it was and all the different sounds that it had. But I had a couple of ideas of sort of how we could, or maybe if you were open to the idea of sort of rethinking some of the sort of circuit inside it. I love the usability, but I wanted to explore a different overdrive circuit. And so that's kind of where the Golden Boy sort of started. And I think you had brought to the table all the different clipping options. So we just sort of went from there with that sort of form factor platform, if you will, and made some tweaks so that it was something that I would find even more usable. And that's kind of where we landed. And then once I had done a fair amount of touring with the Golden Boy, I found myself kind of mainly using the asymmetrical clipping mode and the LED clipping mode, and sort of switching back and forth between those sounds based on the song and the section and the part and stuff. And so that's kind of where we settled with the Golden Boy Mini. So it's a, like, I wouldn't say that it's a greatest hits in a sense, because all the different sort of things that the larger Golden Boy does are all incredible and very usable. But this is these are my favorite settings. And I also asked around to a lot of my friends who are using the Golden Boy which settings that they use, and the majority of them were also using those clipping modes. And so that's kind of also what sort of helped inform that decision. Was I know a lot of people were really fond of the asymmetrical mode and the LED mode. So and that's kind of where we landed and why we landed on that.
So we kept it simple. If you're familiar with the Golden Boy, the original one, it takes a bit of, you have to press and hold different foot switches to get to the different clipping options. In this one, it's just a toggle switch. Asymmetric is up, LED is down. So asymmetric is really good. It's kind of a chewy kind of a feel for the overdrive. LED is really crisp and just has a super fast attack to it. It feels very solid under your fingers. That's the thing about clipping diodes. It's not something you hear as much as something you feel. So you can have a demo video of it and you think, well, it sounds overdriven. Well, yeah, and you go to something else, it just sounds overdriven. Well, yeah, it's how it feels in your right hand. It's the squish or lack thereof is what the clipping diodes really do for you. So we have that volume gain in the 3-band active EQ, which people seem to really dig the active EQ on the Golden Boy. Set for 12 o'clock, it's perfectly flat. It gives you room on either side of 12 o'clock to boost or cut your EQ as needed. So pretty simple. We still have the trimmers inside the pedal, which is kind of an Easter egg feature that we had in the original Golden Boy, that you can adjust the presence and the tone, just a master tone and master presence inside the pedal. So you can kind of dial that in, and you can leave your EQ at completely flat, find your core sound that you like, and then after adjusting those, then you have full authority on, you know, above and below 12 o'clock to find your sound for a given room or a given gig. So a lot of flexibility there. Let's talk about what circuit it is, because the Broken Arrow, it's that little pedal.
Yeah.
You've probably seen that guy.
Have you heard of this? I'm told that people like these.
Yeah.
It's Tube Screamer.
I believe so.
I'm trying to be funny. I'm just, whatever. I'm so tired. Yeah, and I found like the Broken Arrow, which is predominantly based on a Tube Screamer, right?
It is.
Was the most usable Tube Screamer that I've come across. I've never gotten along with them, and I hear some of my favorite guitar players use them and they sound incredible. And as soon as I plug into one, it just doesn't land. And the Broken Arrow was as usable of a Tube Screamer style pedal that I had come across, but I was still kind of wanting something different. And that's kind of where the Golden Boy came from, was can we do the same thing, but with blues breaker based
Absolutely.
circuit? And you said, yeah, that's actually pretty simple to do. And I think, I've got a pretty extensive collection of blues breaker style pedals, King of Tone being one, and the list goes on. And so the thing that I found really exciting about this collaboration was that we could kind of wander into the territory of a couple of different circuits, all the while kind of tailoring it more to my playing, and also I think the way that a lot of other people play too. I mean, the way that I play, I have a very specific setup, and I play in an open tuning and a low tuning, but I'm predominantly, a side guitar player sort of trade. So I feel like the kind of things that I gravitate to are things that can be very flexible, very versatile, get you a variety of different sounds, and those are the kind of things that I like to have on my pedal board. I like to be able to change things and, modify as I go. So the Golden Boy really provides a very wide palette of sounds. And so that's kind of what we were going for. And I think the Golden Boy Mini is really an extension on that. It's just a little more focused.
It's more focused and more accessible. That's the whole idea, because we're chatting on the way over here. It's like everything is getting a little bit tighter. Things are costing more every single day. So for guys that have to make their living on the road, playing every single cent matters. So it's a very intentional effort on our parts to make our brand more accessible and more affordable to you guys. So for $179, you get the sound that Joey has on the road day in, day out at a much better price point. So that is the kind of the quick overview of the Golden Boy Mini. It sounds identical to the Golden Boy because it is identical. It's the same core circuitry. We didn't change anything inside. We just simplified. We didn't go to cheaper manufacturing methods or anything. It's still made in the same shop here in North Fort Worth, Texas, like it's always been. Same parts, same equipment. It's just more affordable for you guys. So hope you enjoy it. Hope you find a use for it. And it's being a smaller size, hopefully you find a space for it on your pedal board. So that's the Golden Boy Mini.
this is Jeremy Landreth. 3 different colors.
We're doing rose gold, gold, and black with gold text.
Oh, dope. I love the rose gold. I accidentally ordered rose gold glasses. And they came in and I was going on the road the next day and I was like, I didn't really want rose gold glasses, but I'd rather have glasses than no glasses. So now I have rose gold glasses. Thank you. They really bring out my eyes. They really bring out my ability to see. Get yours today!